This husky wasn't thirsty at all, but it dominated the only water source. Whenever the other dogs came near, it would viciously chase them away. The other dogs didn't dare to get angry. They could only lower their heads quietly. But the big new dog was different. It walked onto the ice in front of the husky and easily carved out a hole in the ice. It turned out they could do it this way. All the dogs rushed over. Buck didn't chase them away. He generously shared the water source. The husky, witnessing all this, felt provoked. It thought if it ran ahead of the pack fast enough, its owner would keep relying on it. But it didn't realize that the lead dog needs the support of the others. One day, the woman was scouting ahead when suddenly the ice cracked. In the next moment, she fell into the icy cold lake. The man rushed over immediately, but by then, the woman was already struggling, slowly sinking deeper into the lake. In this critical moment, Buck, like lightning, leapt over the man and jumped straight into the water. In the dim, cold water, Buck carried the unconscious woman, banging against the ice with his body. Finally, he managed to bring her to the surface, but Buck was exhausted, panting heavily. The man, however, only focused on pulling the woman ashore. Soon, Buck couldn't hold on anymore. The man couldn't catch him in time. Buck was carried away by the current. The man was frantic on the ice, shouting Buck's name. Hearing the voice, he quickly found Buck position. He pulled out a knife, trying to break through the ice, but the ice was too thick, and the knife snapped after just a couple of strikes. The man knelt down, feeling guilty. He never expected this seemingly clumsy big dog would risk his life to save the woman. At that moment, the man noticed a tool being handed to him. Without thinking, he grabbed it and continued hitting the ice. But suddenly, it seemed like he realized something. The man turned around and saw it was Buck who had handed him the stick. Seeing Buck and the man grow closer, the husky, burning with jealousy, felt bitter. That night, after Buck saved a rabbit, the rabbit didn't even get far before the husky bit it to death, glaring at Buck with a provocation. Quickly, the husky charged at Buck. Buck wasn't scared at all. He stood firm, waited for the right moment, and sidestepped to bite. He grabbed the husky's neck, then, like lifting a small chicken, he tossed the husky into the air. Finally, he stepped on the husky. It was as if he was asking, "Do you give up?" Watching the dogs cheering, the husky knew it had lost. With all the dogs watching, it stood up and walked away in defeat. It looked quite pitiful. The next day, with no lead dog, Buck confidently stepped to the front. He insisted on being the leader. The man, helpless, had no choice but to let Buck lead for once. With the man's command, the whole team charged forward like crazy. With this speed, the man no longer worried about being late. He cheered non-stop along the way, but unexpectedly, the noise was so loud that it triggered an avalanche. Looking at the disaster approaching from the mountaintop, the man couldn't smile anymore. He quickly ordered Buck to turn left, but Buck was looking for a better way out. He felt turning left would be too late, so he decided to follow his instinctive judgment. Looking at the opening ahead, ignored the order, and led the team straight into it.
Are you crazy? No, 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 no!
I have to say, this part was so exciting. I almost want to put on a rope and run a few laps myself.